Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Daryl Show. Welcome to the Daryl Show. How y'all doing this evening? Hey, it's me, your boy, Daryl Williams. And I am the proprietor, the owner, the visionary, the everybody besides God himself of the Daryl Show. The host, you name it, whatever title you want to give me, I'll hold on to it. Let me get prepared. How y'all doing this evening? Hopefully all is well. Um, before we get started, I just want to say shout out to all the graduates. I know you guys usually see me in something black, but I'm wearing t-shirt, class union t-shirt, class of 1996. I've been out of high school for 29 years right now. Oh my goodness, that's a very long time. But hey, life is life, and we're here. So I just want to say shout out to all the graduates, whether you graduated from pre-K, you graduated from elementary school, you graduated from middle, junior high school, college, you got your bachelor's, associates, your doctoral degree, whatever you got, let's give y'all a shout out. Congratulations. Um, Happy Mother's Day to everybody that I missed. If I don't know if I said that before. I did because I did whole Mother's Day special. Anyway, oh man, I'm probably not gonna be before you long. I know I always say that, but here I am. Shout out to shout out to my auntie Cynthia. How you doing? Shout out to my auntie Cynthia. But today this is going to be my season finale for right now. It's going to be my season finale right now because unfortunately I got an email the other day that has caused me to have to step back for a while. I don't know when or where. I'll get back to you guys, but won't be long. Um, got some things happening over here at Summer Coast Studios, so we're gonna see. But anyway, tonight's episode is okay. So tonight's episode is gonna be a little funny, in my opinion. It's gonna be a little funny. It's gonna be a little informative. It's gonna be you know, it's gonna be everything that I would like for it to be. It's gonna be and transparent. It's going to be open. Most importantly, it's going to be honest, and hopefully, it's honoring God. Okay, so the name of this episode is "Dating as a Man of God." Okay, and it's a little bit different than traditional dating because traditional dating, people do things a certain way, and they you can almost expect things to be done a certain way, and people don't they don't ever make too much fuss about it, but once you get into when you get into being a man of God, Christian, believer, whatever the case may be, people look at you a little differently. You end up under a microscope, excuse me, and the way that you date or handle your business is usually a little bit differently. Now, you would think it would be that way, but I was having this conversation that I found myself in the other day, and this one lady was telling me about she had dated a pastor, and she dated a pastor, and she felt as if though in her mind that she wasn't quote unquote first lady material. And I find that funny because you guys know I'm a licensed minister. My license is right there. So I'm not lying. I could bring it close to the camera, but I ain't worried about that right now. But being a licensed minister, people if you tell people this, and I usually keep it to myself. Full stop. I usually keep it to myself from the beginning because of the things that I've seen growing up in the church and being in church and things like that. Most, I think most women who, most women who have sense, like I said, it's gonna be a little funny. Most women who have sense will leave men of God alone, will leave preachers alone, will leave musicians alone. Not because they're bad people or anything like that, but if you're not prepared for what comes along with their life or with their lives and what they do, I wouldn't suggest you sign up for that role. I've often tell people, and this goes for man or woman, the hardest position in any church is being a pastor's spouse. And I say that because people always reverence the pastor, but look over their spouse as if that person doesn't exist. As if that person doesn't have feelings, doesn't have a life, doesn't have things that they need to do to be who it is that they are. Most times, most people who have a calling on their lives, that is the calling doesn't stop. It doesn't turn off. You don't get to go to sleep and God said, I'm gonna give you a rest. Pastor Sherry, I'm about to ban you. I'm not a pastor. Excuse me. Most people, like as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by Pastor Sherry. Um, most people, you have an anointing, and you come into the knowledge of it when you receive Jesus as your Savior and make Him your Lord, and you spend time with Him. And He reveals to you what it is that He will have you to do here on earth that will glorify heaven. That's what it's always been about. And but a lot of people don't seem to understand or don't seem to know that these people are still human. And so I remember I'm a part of a lot of singles groups, and I don't really participate in a whole lot of them, but I do, listen and I talk and I listen, I read, and I try to find different perspectives and things like that. And so there was this, I remember a couple of years ago, somebody had posted about a bishop being a bishop being in a singles group or on like one of the dating apps or something like that. And people like, well, what the bishop doing there? And I'm sitting there scratching my head like, well, clearly he's looking for a wife or he's looking for somebody to date or whatever the case may be. And people were taken aback by it because like basically they were saying, how could he be interested in women that's outside of his local church or whatever the case may be. And so I was telling this lady I was talking to the other day, we had a very decent conversation. It was funny to me, because I was just like, it just amazes me how people are amazed by people being in ministry and the things that they are doing or do in order for them to be accepted, And we're not talking about the sex aspect or anything like that right now. We're not talking about any of that type of stuff. We're talking about just dating and get to know somebody who, possibly leads to marriage. Okay. Now I've never made this a secret. I've always said this. There's three types of women that I do not date. Women at my job. I work in a male dominated society. It's a male dominated position. So there ain't really no women at my job anyway. So I ain't nowhere near attracted to any of them. And I'm certainly not gay. Shout out to everybody who is, but not me. I don't date women in my neighborhood. I don't date women in my neighborhood because if women in your neighborhood, if it doesn't work out, I don't want somebody just riding by my house if she see another car, or I just so happen to catch somebody uh, breaking a window. Like my favorite movie of all times is A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, starring Martin Lawrence and Lynn Whitfield. And when she and when she came and threw that brick in his window at his mama's house, and then she broke into his house cooking him breakfast and asking if he liked his pancakes light, dark, or fluffy. I don't ever want to deal with that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't want to deal with that. So I avoid dating women in my neighborhood, or I don't even invite everybody to my house like that. But anyway, that's me though. And also, I don't date women at the church that I go to. I don't, and I do that for a particular reason. The one reason I do it is because yes, no, I'm not trying to avoid accountability or anything like that. But what I am trying to avoid is everybody being nosy, everybody prying. If you even speak to somebody, you know, people are jumping on top of you, talking about, hey, if let's say the lady's name is Tammy, if people find out Daryl and Tammy is dating, and we're just really trying to get to know one another. Now all of a sudden, two things are going to happen. People are going to try to promote y'all getting married. That may not be our purpose. And number two, if we decide not to break up, if we decide not to work out, we just say, hey, this isn't for us, we're gonna go our separate ways. Now people are won't ever let us move forward. They won't ever let us be with other people that we may like and bring them to the church. The people may enjoy the worship service and, want to come serve and all of that. But you have people that hold on to things that are dead. I remember when in the Bible when God told Joseph, hey, um, my servant Moses is dead. Basically that regime is over. Let's move forward with what it is that I have you to do. And so that's how I would like for it to remain for me when it comes to dating. Now, I don't date women that aren't saved. That's my number one requirement. Saved. Well, it's two. Look at my auntie. No, I just said I'm gonna tell you in a minute. No. So I do women. I want women to have a relationship with Jesus that I date. Okay, and not be religious, but like literally have a relationship with Christ. Like talk to Him, spend time with Him. He's there because what I found over the years. Well, I can't. I'll be lying if I told y'all that. What I have found with some people that I've seen, not necessarily my own personal experience, I have found that women who, well, it should be this way with everybody, but women who have a relationship with Christ will usually treat you better. Now, that's not always the case. And I want everybody to understand this. All that I'm saying is not all. It doesn't go for everybody. I'm just giving you my experience. I'm giving you what it is that I've noticed over time with dating, being in the dating world and things like that. Um, but the people who have a true relationship with Christ, they're supposed to be geared more towards treating you better because we love Him. So we're going to treat anyone that's in our circle and our space around us a whole lot better. But that's not always the case. I found that it's not always the case with like religious women, so to speak, or people who just, as the Bible said, has a form of godliness, and just but denying the power thereof. I have seen that in the past. Now, I'm not saying that everything I'm talking about, the things that I'm talking about, is not necessarily my current dating life right now. Okay, I want about thinking about I'm spilling beans on somebody or something like that because that's not true. But I'm just talking about in general. And so, but she and I were having this conversation, and she was almost like she was surprised that he was attracted to her. And I heard, and she's not the only woman that I've heard say this before. When it came to dating, a pastor or somebody that's in ministry or something like that. And I think that there's this preconceived notion as if, when a man or a woman, because there are some guys out there that won't date women that are in leadership and ministry positions based on a perception. And some of it is true. I can't lie. Some of it is true about some of these men of God. Some of this is true about some of the women of God. I see so many people talk about dating pastors and church musicians and things like that, and how they get such a bad rep. And I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, that's true. It happens that way. But at the same time, it's some great men of God out there. My best friend, him, he's a great man of God, pastor, leads a great church, is a very he's very he has integrity. He literally lives by the word. But from what I can tell, I mean, I've known him for since the '90s, so he hasn't shown me anything different. I've seen the old him all the way up to the new him, just like Joseph and Tyrone. These are both great men of God that literally walk out. Excuse me, what it is that the word says before men and God. And I know this for personally. But there is like and there is like this thing where sometimes I avoid church girls or women at my church or whatever the case may be because of this whole little church groupie type thing. It's a real thing. It's literally a real thing. I was telling I forgot who I was talking to, but I was just saying how you have some situations where you have women who their whole mission is to get with a pastor, or get with a deacon, or get with somebody in leadership or whatever the case may be. Because a lot of times they're only interested in the anointing or the position or the accolades that may come along with that position. And when it comes to the nitty gritty, being with this person outside of ministry, then it's like, basically, what are you here for? You're not performing, you're not on stage, you're not hooping, you're not doing this. What are you here for?" And it makes it hard because certain people only want to serve what they see you on the platform or what they see, on the stage or what they want to see. And if you go old school, what you want to see in devotion, or that's the only person they want to serve. Like, and I tell people all the time, when I meet a woman, I'd rather meet her at Walmart or Target or where we boycott in Target, but I would rather meet her organically. My auntie said a club. No, not the club, auntie said, but a lounge. I will go to a lounge. I don't smoke or I don't heavily drink or anything like that. I don't do hookah or any of that stuff. But if I'm at the movies or if I go to the gun range, because I will go to the gun range. If I go to the gun range and I find, somebody, I would be open to that. And I'm not opposed to dating apps or anything like that. But this season of my life, um, it's just I've come because I used to be very judgmental towards like how people date or and things like that. But all that stuff is out the window for me. I used to have this list about what it is that I wanted. That list probably got like 5 items on it now, versus 35. Because not, and I'm not settling because I'm getting older. Okay. I'm not se no, it's I'm not settling because I'm getting older or anything like that, but it's just like I just found out, I just realized a lot of it's just nonsense. A lot of it's just something to appease my flesh. And because if I go back and I read the Bible and I look at most of the relationships that are in the Bible, the vast majority of those relationships had nothing to do with love. It was usually about purpose. Whether the two people who got together knew it or not, it was usually about purpose. It was usually about God proving his point. There was a point to be made. Like who was it, Hosea and Gomer. How could you who can love a prostitute? I mean, you have reformed prostitutes nowadays that people love, but at the end of the day, she was real live active out here still selling that thing. So, but there was a point to be made from God concerning his church. But not all marriages are like that. Not all relationships are like that. And I don't. And I'm always on the lookout. Anybody that's in my personal circle, I do what I can to always filter everything that I do and say through God to find out if this person belongs in my life or not. And I feel like if a person stays in my life more than 10 days, then they must belong in there for a reason. And I've had to learn over the years that you can't date everybody that comes in your life. Some people are just an assignment. Some people are going to receive from me that they won't be able to receive from another person. And I mean, because when you're single, I've been single without a girl, well, single, divorced since 2011. So I've been unmarried since then. And I do believe that I will probably operate better within the confines of marriage. Because being out here on the fly solo really ain't as easy as people think it is. Yeah, I could eat and break my plate and go to bed and not worry about nothing. But at the end of the day, I still come home to just a king size bed, just me. Not that I'm sure it's not because I have to have it that way, but that's where I am right now. Right now, I think that a lot of my wealth and generational wealth might be tied to the person that I'm supposed to be married to as well. I'm not as picky as I used to be. I'm not picky at all anymore. However, I am way more selective with whom I spend time with and whom I say this person could be potential Mrs. Williams. Because I've been married and divorced before, and it's not my goal or it's not my plan to get remarried or get divorced ever again. Whomever I come up with now, whomever I pop out with, because and my therapist, Miss Caroline, shout out to Miss Caroline, she told me that I need to I need to date publicly. She said, Daryl, you need to date publicly because you will you will go through something and won't nobody know about it and you just live your life like nothing happened. I was like, "Okay, Miss Carol, I ain't give you this copay to be telling me all this stuff that I already know." But anyway, but but my point is, like, the whole point of this message or podcast today, and I was gonna try to reach out to somebody that's one of my friends and followers. And I was gonna try to reach out to her, but I just didn't have time to see if she wanted to talk about her dating experience. Shout out to Dr. Ray. Um, she She talks about her dating experience on TikTok and Instagram and things like that. Hey, ma. Uh, uh-oh. All right now. She about to you about to get me in trouble. Make sure they bring something to the table. Listen, that's a oh, we know that's a whole nother that's a that's a whole nother conversation for another day, man. Because these younger women today, well, I like Gen Xers. I'll go about that far into millennial. No Gen Zs, no Gen Alpha at all. None of those. If you was born with a nine, if it was 1909 something in your birthday, just keep on going. I ain't got nothing for you. I'm too old. I ain't got the energy, and I really don't have the emotional capacity for it. But see, here's the thing about being a man of God, woman of God that's in a particular position within the church. Yes, like my mom said, I want to make sure I'm going to be straight up honest with somebody. I'm looking for some help. And by help, I ain't talking about necessarily financially or anything like that, but I want somebody to help me get to the next level in life. And whatever area that may be, and just like I can help her get to the next level in life. That's my always been my goal since I learned about marriage and relationships as I was going through a divorce. Because I really didn't start learning about marriage and relationships for real until I was going through my divorce from my previous wife and after I was saved, and I would sit there and I would take God's word and I would just go over it over and over again. I'm like, God, okay, is there a way this is supposed to be taken care of? But it never got better. Now, and it wasn't one of those things where I was never when I'm a very dogmatic and zealous person. Okay, once I'm locked in on something, I'm like a pit bull, 1700 pounds of pressure. You're not gonna be able to get me off it too easily. But certain things I had to learn along the way after the divorce. I had to learn along the way because if I sit back and look at it, it probably could have been handled a different way. But when I get excited about something, I'm kind of impulsive. And see, that's why I need my wife. I'm kind of impulsive. I need somebody to help reel me in this area because sometimes if it's something that I'm interested in, I want it to happen right then. And so when my ex-wife and I were going through what we were going through, it wasn't happening fast enough, according to me. And then she offended me to the point one time where I was like, "This is enough, and I don't ever want to come back to this anymore." So I'm just like, it is what it is for me. I don't really, care about anything or what anybody is saying concerning me when it comes to um, relationships because I've made my decision. I've, let God know what I want on numerous occasions. I promise you, if there's anything he knows about me, he knows what I want in a wife. But anyway, so she and I was talking. I'm still on subject. I'm still talking about this young lady. What we were having the conversation, and she was surprised by the what the pastor was looking for, and she was basically saying what a lot of other people would say: "Why don't you just get somebody from the church?" And she's like, she didn't understand how or why he was interested in her. And I'm like, and I told her straight up because I've been this person before. She needs to be a special guest. Okay, then. So I said, and I told her, I said, listen, I said he wanted you because, and this is gonna shock a lot of single saved women, but I gotta say it, and I want y'all to lean in. I said he wanted you because you were yourself. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. That's all it is. Most men of God, most women of God want somebody who are themselves. A lot of women, not all, please, this is not a blanket statement, but a lot of women in the church will put on an air or act or whatever the case may be, and just to get the man of God or just to get the woman of God or whatever the case may be. Because this is not gender specific. This goes both ways. They would put on an act just to just bag the person, and then once they got them, it's just like, who are you? I don't even know who you are. And so Yeah, I said, "You probably like doing stuff like hanging out. You probably just, he sees you as a person that can hang out with his friends. He sees you as a person that can just be yourself, that just can go to a football game, can do something like that. You know, I see people, that's it, Uncle Auntie said, just it's simple. I see people just overthink everything when it comes to dealing with somebody in our position. It's like when I want you to, I'm not necessarily looking for a prophetess or an apostle or another pastor or a pastor or another teacher. I just the person that's single in ministry literally wants somebody that fits them and not necessarily the local church. That's all to it. Most the most successful relationships I've ever seen personally where the person or the man or woman of God got somebody that fits them and were confident in fitting them. They were confident in being who it is that they are for their person, not necessarily for the church. Yes, we need for you to be saved, believe on Jesus, pray, all these things because you're gonna have to intercede. Sometimes you're gonna have to do a lot of these things because it's a lot of warfare attached to the ministry of a man or woman of God. There's a lot of well, that's true. That's true. Look at two talking about some amen. That's absolutely true, Pastor Sherry. It's a lot of warfare that's attached to anybody in leadership, and this goes beyond church. I tell anybody, even if you are just a supervisor at your job, I just read a post earlier about this girl, who set her children's father up because of something he didn't answer her phone call or something like that, but he was messing around with one of the girls at the job. Again, y'all know this one of my number one rules: don't mess with anybody at the job anyway. But she set him up to have this girl say that he raped her, that he sexually assaulted her, and he ended up losing his job and losing all of his benefits. And she took the children, and yeah, it is too much TV, Auntie Cent. She took the children because he didn't have money to fight back. I've seen situations like that. I've seen situations where people lose their livelihoods and their lives, so to speak, and end up homeless on the streets because somebody got in their little fifis, got in their feelings. It doesn't matter what type of leadership. If you're a decent person who has something going for yourself, whether you got a nice house and a car, a nice apartment, and a bicycle, whatever the case may be. If somebody is after it, if somebody wants it, then people will sit up there and do what they can to try to sabotage it. It's true. Like Pastor Sherry said, there are men of God out here running game. There are women of God out here running game. But at the end of the day, the a real person who most people don't ask for the call that's on their lives. And I need people to fully understand that. People don't ask for the call. The ones that are jumping up and down, running up and down, trying to be all up in a young minister's face or a young pastor's face, those are the ones to avoid because they're gonna be some trash later on down the road. If y'all ain't gonna believe this, and I'm about to hit y'all with an exclusive, women. The easiest thing for a man to get in church is some coochie. That's the easiest thing. It's the easiest thing for the man to get in the church is some coochie. I can't tell you no other way. I mean, it is what it is. Um, yeah. Hey, that's right too. That is right. I'm the same way. I do not tell nobody my type. If it turns me off for a woman to ask me what type of woman I'm looking for. It was you until you asked me that. I hate that. I hate that because people will sit up there and they will become everything you say that you want just to reel you in and just to drop you later on. I no, I can't be that person. I'm like, hey, let's just vibe. Let's just vibe. I used to be color struck when I was younger. I'm not color struck anymore. It's certain things that I still want. I'm not gonna change that again. Y'all gotta ask my best friends what I want in a woman physically, but it's certain things I'm not gonna change. But I'm not color struck anymore. I've dated them. I've dated them all: tall, short, skinny. I got babies with them all, tall, short, skinny. I'm sorry, y'all gonna kill me in the comments, but it's true. So and that's why I tell young people, don't rush to try to get into a relationship. You got to know what you like. Especially, I tell my boys all the time, but I give my boys and my girls the same advice. Know what you like before you start locking yourself down with these people. For a long time, I didn't know what I liked. I knew that I knew what I thought I liked, but it wasn't until I got older and I went through some things and I became more mature that I really started understanding what I really did like. I started recognizing what it is that I really wanted in a woman, and from that point on, I started. I'm the type of guy I will only approach the type of women that I like. I'm not looking for friends. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I will go. Usually, a person has 90 days with me. Usually, I will give a person 90 days to prove to me who it is they are. Because I really believe you can see every season of a person in 90 days. I believe that. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But I'm not one of those people. I'm not gonna. I try not to waste people's time. I try not to waste people's time, and I also try to give exactly what I get in return. I'm very reciprocal. If I can't do something, I'll say that I can't do something. I'm not one of those people that are going to sit up and try to make it seem like I'm living a certain lifestyle that I know that I can't maintain. Not that guy. I'm not dishonest in that way. I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend as if, I have all of these different things going on. Like, I'm not the in crowd type of person. I don't care if I ever make it to the in crowd. I don't care if I don't ever make it to certain rooms because I always believe, and I still believe to this day, that God got me. God gonna always have me. He says my gift will make room for me. It's gonna be doors that's gonna open up for me automatically. I don't have to try to go through them. I let God open them up. So certain things in life, I don't certain things that oh my goodness, light skin. Certain things in life I just don't worry about. I'm not bragging as you said. Oh man. That's right. The real person shows them 3 months or less. Absolutely. But I don't I let people live. I try to be reciprocal. I try to be heartfelt. I try to, all of these things. I try to be honest. I'm a good time. Don't let nobody fool y'all. I'm a good time. I can chill with the best of them. I can roll with the rest of them. And I can do without the rest of them. I do. I don't. I'm just a simple guy. I don't get the whole. I don't understand things not being simple. And right now, I'm going through a storm right now in my life, and nobody really know about it unless you're in my inner circle. But at the end of the day, it to me it doesn't change who I am. It's actually teaching me something. So yeah, most people that find somebody or want somebody in their lives, they just want somebody to be them. They want somebody who's going to sit there and just be who it is that they are, not try to be what somebody else wants them to be or something like that. They just be who it is that you are. And I think a lot of people don't. I think that goes above a lot of people's heads. It's like I don't need you to be super spiritual for me. I don't need you to be super religious for me. Just be who it is that you are. We can grow in grace together. Becoming one doesn't happen overnight. And I wish I knew this in my earlier years, but becoming one doesn't happen overnight. My old pastor, I never stopped quoting this man. He said, ladies, that she doesn't want your 5-year husband, she wants your 25-year husband. All the kinks have been worked out. All the bugs have been worked out. He's solid at this point. He knows he don't even need an alarm clock to wake him up to go to work. Fellas, he don't want your 2-year woman, he wants your 20-year woman. She knows all your idiosyncrasies now. She knows that you need to take a Prevacid before you go to sleep because you got what you call it, acid reflux. Shout out to me, I haven't had an acid reflux in a long time since I've been on CPAP. Anyway, yeah, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen like in the moment. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna take a minute, and I need people to understand that it's not as hard as people make it. Now I'm the type of person, if I see certain things that make me say, mm, mm, like I'm not a red flag person. If I see red flags, I will acknowledge red flags. But if you just got a bunch of little amber flags, I'll let you live with some amber flags. But I'm looking for green flags. But I'll let you live with the amber flags. No, I just said you cannot. I just said I'm not trying to date you. You're my auntie, and no, you cannot clean my kitchen without being put out. Let's see what Two got to say. Come on here, Two. Look. This is my little sister. We grew up together, and I never knew Toot was this deep. But go ahead on, Toot. But like seriously though, it's just that simple for a person that I've people just like you just to be you. I remember this one lady I know. She's growing in the social media influence phase. Shout out to Michelle Lee. She said that to me last year sometime. She was like, I don't understand why a pastor would want me like that or something like that. But I'm like, girl, you got it. Like you just being yourself. That's all people care about. People care about you being yourself. We don't. I know for me, I don't care. I dated somebody who is we told two totally opposite different people. She's very uh what's the word? Um what's the word? It's not a bad word. She's I'm an introvert. She's extroverted. I said it. She's extroverted. And I got no problem with, that. Uh I'm a people person. I like to think that I'm an ambivert. That's right. My mom said never base your relationships on somebody else's. That's true. Like I'm telling you, it's now I'm not saying that you hook up with the first person that comes in your life because everybody should have a baseline on what it is that they believe and want when it comes to a relationship. But I don't think it needs to be too complicated. I don't. I don't think it needs to be super complicated. I don't think people need to try to make it wait. Like I've seen. I'm telling you, I've seen. Y'all really don't understand. I've seen so many different people getting married and like I see more religiosity versus when it comes to relationship than anything. People sitting up here talking about they talking about they married somebody to make hell shake and all this type of foolishness. And I'm like I'm just shaking my head like the average marriage in the church should make hell shake. You don't have to be loud in the microphone and hooping and hollering and all that just to be thinking that you're because if y'all not compatible, if y'all not doing what if y'all not walking in agreement, how is heaven gonna move on y'all's behalf? Excuse me. How is hell gonna shake if you're not in agreement? I remember this is one woman I dated years ago, and I asked her, I said, what show me what having my back looks like, right? And it wasn't a test, it was just a conversation. She said, and she got it right on the first time. She said, well, if I had to if I had to do that, she said, I would probably stand back to your back. And I was like, you understand. I said, because if you having my back, I don't need you to look in the same direction as me. I need you to look at the spots that I can't see. And everybody doesn't understand that. Everybody doesn't get that because everybody just can't. And I don't know where she got it from, and evidently she had some sort of training. It didn't work out for us, but but at the end of the day, that's what stuff like that. I ask questions like that when I really want to know something. So that's it. Most men, women, everybody, they just want somebody that's gonna be themselves. They just want somebody who's going to show up for them. Yes, you want them to be saved. You want them to be um you want them to have an anointing. You want them to have a Christ centered and Christ led life. But we understand that I understand that I don't have to have the church prophetess to be my wife. I know I don't have to have the church intercessor to be my wife. I need my wife to intercede for me. One of the first things, if I'm dating a woman, the first thing I tell her is it's three things I say. I hate washing dishes and cleaning up a kitchen. I hate cleaning the bathroom, and I want my wife to be my family or my household's administrator. Not that I can't do it, I just don't want to do it. I hate washing dishes and cleaning up a kitchen. I ain't even gonna front about that. I do it to survive, but I hate doing that more than anything. I hate doing that because growing up, what did your mama do in the middle of the night? She woke you up to clean up the kitchen. I hated that. I'm glad you watch it, Ma, so you know I hated that growing up. But anyway, I just I need people just to understand. Listen, I don't have to have I ain't got to get Sarah Jakes to be my wife. She ain't got to be no Sarah Jakes. I don't want Corey either, but she, she ain't gotta be Sarah Jakes to be my wife. She ain't gotta be, she ain't gotta be the preacher's daughter. No, she don't have to be any of that stuff. I'm okay with a person's past. I'm okay with a person's background. I'm okay with a person anything as long as it's not as long as she ain't no convicted felon. She got some type of sense. She taking care of herself when I meet her. Cause I'm trying to bring everything that I have together with somebody. And I'm not telling you the type of woman that I like. I'm talking some hired maid. No, I mean but see that's the thing. See, I'm not that guy that thinks a woman should do all the housework. Growing up, I didn't see traditional roles. Um, yeah, I did. I put you out because you were throwing my stuff away and rearranging my cabinets, ma'am. That tell the truth. When I grew up, I didn't see traditional roles. I didn't see my dad cutting grass and my aunties in the kitchen cooking. No, my aunts was out taking care of my family's property. Matter of fact, my aunt still cut the grass today at my grandparents' house, and they've gone on to be with Jesus. My bad, Pastor. My bad, Pastor Sherry. I'm sorry. I apologize. But growing up, my uncles were always on the grill and cooking and things like that. My uncle Nelson was a cook in the military, and he came out. He did the same thing at my grandparents' house. Um, Thank you, Toot. I appreciate that. My sister said she'll come clean for me. Thank you. But I'm not that guy. I'll do anything. I'll vacuum. I'll make beds. Laundry and ironing and all that stuff. I can do that all day long. I'll do outside work. I'm honest. I just do not want to clean the kitchen, clean the bathroom, and I don't want to. I think my wife and I should be able to come together once or twice a month and discuss our finances and things like that, and say, hey, all I care about is as soon as I hit the garage door, it goes up. I leave my porch light on all the time. I want to be able to pull up close to my house and see my porch light on because I know them lights still on. Because I'm going to marry someone that I safely trust with every asset that I have. Blindly, I'm literally looking for a spades partner when it comes to a wife. And if you don't know how to play spades, then you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. So I'm looking to have blind trust. I'm looking to have somebody that are themselves. I don't. My wife ain't got to be at church every time the doors open. If this is a huge if God were to ever make me a pastor one day, this is a huge if because it's something I told God I didn't want, but I had to repent. But if God were to make me a pastor one day, I would defend my wife with anybody, family, friends, whomever, but especially from the church because I understand how many vultures are in the church. Like right now, I don't like for people to touch me without asking. So I know I'm not gonna want somebody to touch me in that position when I have a wife. And I used to be a wild boy back in the day, and I did some things that I'm not proud of that will not be discussed on this podcast right now. But I know, and I've repented, and I've already served my sentence, so can't nobody hold it against me. But at the end of the day, I don't need my wife to show up at the church every time the doors open with me. I can handle myself. I need her to minister to me. I need her to think about me. I need her to honor God by honoring me. That's what I need from my spouse. And that's what a lot of men and women of God are looking for in a mate. They're not necessarily looking for someone that's uh Pastor Sherry, you gonna get banned, Pastor Sherry. Banned. I need someone who is interested in what it is that I'm interested in and to make sure that I'm good. I don't care about what somebody else is interested in. I want to look good for her. If she don't like my locks, why did you even swipe right, ma'am? Okay, let's I'm sorry. But my point is if there's a problem later on down the road, I mean, I'm not opposed to taking these locks down. If she don't like beards, I'll let her have a beard because now I gotta at least have a goatee because I don't want a whole butt mouth out here, but she gotta give me something. I'm in other words, I'm willing to compromise. Okay, I'm willing to compromise and I'm willing to be open. If you want to try new restaurants, we can try new restaurants together. If you want to, I don't know, go to concerts, we can go to whatever it is. I don't have any issues with going. Let me see what you got to say. Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that, Auntie Cent. And I think, and I want you to have it. I want everybody to have. I want everybody that's on under the sound of my voice, online, whoever. If you're watching live or if you're going to watch later, I want this to be for everybody. I want everybody to find somebody that fits them. The Bible tells us a man that finds a wife. The Bible doesn't say a man that finds the wife. And the Bible also didn't tell you that women couldn't approach men. I'm gonna have to deal with y'all with that on the next season though, because um yeah, she has to know how to play. She can't be a sore loser. I want people to get this relationship thing. Yeah. No. You know what? Let me go block you right now. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I want everybody to get it. Yes, women, you can tell a man how nice he looks or whatever. Because I can tell you as a busy man, sometimes men aren't paying attention. Oh, now wait a minute. This is important right here. If you can't jank Joan and be crazy with me, I don't want you. I don't want you. If you super sensitive, I had the person. I come from a long line of trash talkers. If let me tell y'all something. If y'all ever had the opportunity to meet Ethel B. Thomas before she left this earth, January 6, 2000, and you would see, I came up in gladiator school. Straight up. I came up in gladiator school. My grandma didn't let nobody off. Nobody got slack. Everybody got a nickname. Everybody got Ethel B treated people like, I mean, I don't know what place she came from, but I just know it was hilarious to me because she treated everybody the same way. I came from that. I grew up in that. My family trash talks. Tuesday we're gonna roast them. We roast everybody. Don't nobody get. Hey, my cousin's boyfriend right now. Shout out to Patrick, and he the only Auburn fan I let in my house besides Joe. I don't know how Joe became an Auburn fan, but he is all of a sudden. Whatever. But Patrick, I let Patrick in my house for Thanksgiving. I let Patrick know what it was from the beginning. Hey, bro, we don't roll like that around here. But I love Patrick for my cousin though. So and I hope they do. I hope they do make it. I hope they do make it. That's right. That's our love language. We trash talkers. Listen, that's what we do. That's what I do. So you got to. I know when to be serious and I know when to cut up. And most times, and sometimes I'm being serious. People think I'm cutting up, but I had to say, hey, I'm being serious right now. Well, all I'm saying is, and this is a simple truth for anybody when it comes to any type of leadership, anything like that. People often wonder how the secretary of the company ends up with the CEO of the company, and she gets everything that he leaves in his will because the secretary understands. Just serve the CEO as who he is as a person. Learn who that person is and give them what they need, not what you think they need. I often tell this analogy, and I'm true about this. If you say, "Hey, Daryl, what is it that you want for your birthday?" I'd like a blue polo shirt. Okay, I'm very simple. I'm very straightforward. If you go to the store and there's no blue polo shirt, and you decide to pick up a black polo shirt, I'm gonna look at you some type of way. Ooh, excuse me. Right. My grandma got plenty of them. If I say I wanted the blue polo shirt, I'm gonna feel some type of way if you bring me a black one. I'd rather for you just not give me what it is that I'd rather for you just keep it, just not give me anything. And it's not me being ungrateful, but if I was very direct, I was very open, I was very honest. If I say I don't want something, I don't want it. If I say I do want something, I do want it. That's me, Daryl. Now I've given y'all a lot. I've given y'all a lot about me. There's a phone number if you want to call real quick. And this is the season finale. It's gonna be a couple eh, about a month or two before I come back. I have to work some things out. But if you want to call, here's your opportunity to call. Say what you got to say, get it off your chest. So I ain't gonna leave this up long. And hopefully, by the time you see me live again, hopefully, I don't know, I may change the set. I don't know, because I'm still learning. Every day I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to add to the show. I'm trying to lock down better guests and things like that. And I can say my favorite show this year. Let me see. My favorite show was probably uh with Major Turner. That was a very eye opening show. That show was very I needed that show. And I can't wait to have him back so we can talk about other things. I'm gonna reach out to you this week, Major Turner, if you're watching. Let me see. What other show? I liked all of them. My first show, I ain't really like that too much, but it's still up on YouTube. And always, we like for you to like, share, subscribe, and things like that. Let me see. The show with Jaron and Joe. That would be one of my favorites because you guys get to see how we act. We act like this in our group chat. We act like that in person. We act like that, all the way, all the time, all the time. That's how we act. That's how we are. We are those people with one another. Um, these guys have always been like my brothers. They've always been my brothers from day one. From when we first met up until now, I still look at them as brothers. I still see them as people who um I can count on. Whether it be just a word of prayer, whether it just be just whatever it is that I need from them, they've been there for me. And I wish everybody had brothers like that. And then the show with Daryl Jr. That's a great show as well. You guys got to see a little bit how I parent. I don't think now he's living here. Now I don't think that I'm a bad parent, but everybody's. I'm not the perfect parent either. I'll say that. But at the same time, I'm a present parent. I'm a parent that will do everything that I can to make sure that my children and anyone around them can make it. Yeah. Um, I thought I had a picture. My bad. I should have got there ready earlier. But yeah. So yeah, I gotta go, Auntie Cent. I'll explain later, but I got to go for a little while. I appreciate that. Yeah. DJ about to get fired. He about to get what you call it because he hasn't been doing his job. DJ, I gave him a job within the family company to take care of social media to make reels and shorts and videos, and he ain't been on it, so he might get fired already. But I just, I love you guys, and I'm really thankful for everybody who has come to be on the show. I'm thankful for everybody who watches the show. I'm thankful for everybody who has made it their business to come see what it is that I'm saying and what I'm talking about. I see how many people that are on every day, every time I'm on, and I thank you. Oh, I forgot about that's right. I forgot about Tania and Tracy. That was a good, very good show. I can't wait to do another show with them too because when I'm talking about relationships, those are two people that I spend a great deal of time talking about relationships with. But I'm that person though. Now I want people to understand this about me. I got friends who are in relationships and things like that, and I give my friends that are in relationships their space. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you're in a committed relationship or you're just talking to somebody. I give people their space. I am gonna put this business out there. I give people their space, and I allow my friends to reach out to me when they want to talk. It don't matter, friends, family, whomever. I give people their space because I get it. I understand that, when you're building with somebody or trying to build with somebody, you don't need everybody all up in your mix. You don't need no other voices and opinions and things like that. You need to deal with the person that you're dealing with. So I give people space for that in my life. I'll reach out. I only call or text Tyrone when I think he's at work or when he's not busy. Well, yeah, too. I could, but but that's what we're gonna do. Next season, hopefully, I will be able to get my cousins from my mom's side to come on, and including two. I'm gonna try. So right now, two, Brandy, OC, all of us, we the four originals. Jasmine, Chris and Alex. They young. We're not gonna include them. They Gen Z. They millennials. Yeah, these millennials and Gen Zs. We're gonna leave them where they at. We're FB's four original. So we're gonna I'm gonna get you guys together. We're gonna come on. We'll have one big powwow. So I really love you guys, and I really appreciate you guys. I thank you for like just being there, just being here. This hasn't been easy at all. I don't want nobody to think that this was something this I was able to just come with off the top of my head. No, I really try to think, and I really try to go over what it is that I would like to say. And I'm gonna work on the dead words, the ums and the ahs and all of that. It's not that easy. Sometimes my brain works faster than my mouth does. So I apologize for that. I go back and look at some of my videos and I'm like, ugh. But it's not, blame it on my head, not my heart. I really love the fact of I like the interaction. I like the see, I just did it again. I like the camaraderie of being able to see people live. That's right, Pastor Sherry. That's right, Pastor Sherry. It's not easy at all. I don't want people to think that this is oh my goodness, yeah, there's a lot of shows. Yeah. Thank you, light skin. I really appreciate that. Yep. I really enjoyed Nancy. I really enjoyed Erica. All of these people, all of these people have been a great blessing to me in this first season. Yeah. And Pastor Sherry, I want to have you on next also. I want to have you on next season because you're a one person creator. And I want people to really to talk, I want you to really drive home the point of what it is that we actually do. I want people to hear from a different perspective, a different voice. Um, because you know better than me. I was a first guest on your show. And so um thank you. Thank you, Auntie Sant. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kizzy. I appreciate that. And Kizzy is not my cousin. We just got the same last name. She's not my cousin. But yes, I really want Pastor Sherry to come on because she has a vision, and yes, it is a task. She has a vision, and we're supposed to be doing a live show. We're supposed to be doing a live show with His Will for Your Life, and I can't wait to do that as well. And I get it. These things are mostly self-financed. But we try to sell merch. We try to do whatever we can because we're still trying to do this and we're trying to honor God and we're trying to, give to his people. We're trying to make sure that we put out something quality. This camera equipment these lights, this stuff I'm talking about. I sit back when I'm driving, again, YouTube is my favorite app. So I'll put on a YouTube video and I'll learn, and I support other people's things. I support other people's podcasts and things like that because I want mine to get bigger. Thank you. 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 It's gonna be even better. Thanks, Mom. Exactly. Thank you, Pastor Sherry. And I know you're working on it. And trust me, I know. Hey, if I had a $5 million podcast, I would be in a much better place. But it's baby steps. I'm not despising any type of humble beginning. I've tried to be as faithful as I could, be here on time. Every Sunday at 9 o'clock, I press that go live button, and I've made it my business to make sure that I'm able to be here for you guys and give you quality content and to have quality guests and things like that. And I only want to go higher from here. It's been great. It's been great. I usually, like, I'm up for the night. I'm up for the night. I would usually do this show, then I would do my laundry, then I would get ready for work, or I'll go eat or whatever the case may be, and I'll get ready for work. And I just thank God for I thank God for the opportunity to stand before His people. Honestly, this is not easy at all. It takes prayer. Some days I come on here and I'm like, man, God, I don't know what it is you're gonna do today, but whatever it is, like even today, I didn't know what I was going to say beyond what I wanted to say. My overall point was just be yourself when dating men or women of God. It is, thank you. That's right. Just be yourself. I actually want my mom, my auntie, and my uncle to come on also, but I'm gonna have to work this out another way. I'm gonna work this out another way. Maybe my dad one day. We're gonna say, I want y'all to see the whole crew. I want y'all to see everybody that I come from, so y'all can say, okay, we get it now. We see why he a little. We'll see why he a little cuckoo. I don't know. Maybe I have all of my children on one day. I don't know. Everybody but Scooter. Scooter's too young to be on, but yeah, that's it. This is the Daryl Show, and I really love you guys. God knows I do. Again, pray for everybody that I have mentioned that needed prayer. We're still trying to, get out of the woods in some areas with people, and please pray for me. I need it. I ain't gonna front. Tyrone will post sometimes. Who can I pray for? I can put my name right there. I sit there with my hand raised. And I know he my brother. He'll do it anyway. But I receive all prayer. Now I ain't looking for no prayers that I cast down any negative word that wants me to fail or any type that wants me to downfall or any that want me to die. Cast them down right now in the name of Jesus. However, thank you, Auntie Sam. However, I receive prayer. I do. If God gives you a word, make sure it's a word from God, not no other source. I receive that as well. I'm not. Hey, the only thing that makes us different in the kingdom is the position that we have, but we all need the same Holy Spirit to do what it is that we do. I'm not a. This ain't no democracy over here. This is, this is a theocracy. Where is it? Because I always keep my sword. I need people to understand. This book right here is my favorite. I'm about to get a rebound. I found somebody to do it online. That's right. School to called you today. Oh, okay, good. I'm gonna call you afterwards to talk about that. Um, I'm gonna call you in a few minutes to find out about that right there. Anyway, add yours to the list. That's right, Pastor Sherry. Same thing. Hey, I don't talk about what I do, but I sow into people. And please understand that whatever it is you're trying to do, I believe in sowing. I believe in sowing into people to make sure that you are successful, to make sure that I'm successful. It's one particular podcast I plan to sow in. I just haven't done it, but I plan to do it soon because I like what they're doing. Sow into people wherever it is that you want to go. I believe in wherever position, if somebody's in a position that you desire to be in, not necessarily their position, but in a status like that, sow into that, give into that. If you know you want to buy a house or if you want to buy a brand new car and you ain't got the credit for it, sow into somebody who has an 850 credit score. It works. It works. I'm telling you, it works because as long God will give you the things that you desire, He will open up doors for you. Excuse me. He would open up door he will open up doors for you that no man can shut. I guarantee you, it's the truth. If you just stand by what it is that God is doing in your life and stand by what it is that He wants you to do, God will open up doors for you. Guarantee you. Be nice to people. Niceness is not a lost trait. Don't celebrate when people are going through something because at any moment you could be going through the same thing. This ain't nothing I'm guessing about. This is something I know to be a fact. Encourage people as much as you can. Love should always be coming out of our mouth. Apostle Paul said we should speak to each other with psalms and love. Greet each other with a holy kiss. Don't put your lips on me, but you know what he's saying. You know exactly what he's saying. I should be able to come to my brother and my sister, and we should be able to talk and do things in a way that's conducive that God can be proud. Every believer, even unbelievers, because we're living in times now where there's a lot of uncertainty. Things are shaky. If y'all notice, I ain't mentioned 45, 47 all day. And I don't plan to. But we live in uncertain times right now. And I want you guys to understand that every day Jesus could be showing back up. If you don't know him as your personal savior, I advise you, please get with somebody that can lead you to salvation. It's the best decision you ever make. Now, please understand, this ain't no cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk at all. It's not something that to be played with, not something to be toyed with. This is a true calling. It's a true lifestyle. This is something that you have to literally, you got to spend time with God. You got to walk this thing out. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. God never promised you it'd be easy. He just told you it'd be worth it. Whether you get your reward here or get it there. And learn the difference between a reward and a award. Award is something that you win. Reward is something that you earn. I ain't come here to be no preacher today. I came here to just be a podcaster today. Okay. Again, as I was saying, I love you guys. And I thank you for every eyeball and every ear that's been paying attention to me on these airwaves. Tell them, Pastor Sherry. I do. I promise you, I'm really thankful for every last one of you guys. Whether you watch live or whether you watch replay, I'm thanking for all the interaction, everything. I thank you for it. Just everything. I'm really grateful for everybody. I think this should be episode 12 or 13. I got to go back and number them. And I just started using hashtags, so maybe it'll reach other people. But listen, this has been season 1 of the Daryl Show, talking with some sense. I'm probably gonna shorten that also. I don't know yet, but I like to believe and think that I'm talking with some sense because it's a lot of misinformation and disinformation. All right, this is your last time. You out of here, buddy. There's a lot of misinformation and disinformation out there, and I never want to be one of those people. I don't peddle on conspiracies or anything like that. I really enjoy what it is that I'm doing. I may not want to be here all the time, but I really enjoy what I'm doing because, hey, if nobody's in the room with me, so I have to look into this camera, I have to stare down the barrel of this camera and try to just be open and just be honest and be transparent and be believable, be likable, be somebody that everybody can say, I can identify with that man. I ain't perfect by a long shot. Now I know what Matthew 5:48 says, be ye perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. But he's talking about mature. But my flesh is nowhere near perfect and it's being crucified daily. So I want everybody, just please treat your neighbor kindly, treat your family kindly, treat your friends kindly. Show up for people, even if it's just a phone call. We never know what people are going through, and we never know what people may be dealing with. Just be frank, be earnest, and be you more than anything. Okay. I love you. I love you guys. I've spent an hour and 12 minutes here, and I thought I would only be here 40 minutes. So I'm telling you, I guess I felt my help coming on. So here's the season 1. On to season 2. I love you guys. God bless you. God keep you. And we'll see you next season. God bless. Hey, little Musty. My bad. I forgot. I was too busy trying to get up out of here because, I'm off to the next thing. Check this out. I forgot to tell you, I need for you to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys being here. Every time you see this chocolate man with these headphones and this doggone black glasses, you're finna get some good quality content. We over here talking with some sense over here, okay? I want you to let all you people know. Tell them to meet me every Sunday night, 9:00 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook, YouTube, every streaming platform you can find. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate your support and I thank you. I'll catch you next time. All right? Peace.